Amidst the great news of Singapore welcoming its third German-built submarine, another update has surfaced from the Southern Hemisphere. Instead of retiring its aging fleet, the Royal Australian Navy has chosen to pour in a $163 million investment to ensure the remaining ANZAC-class frigates keep sailing. They are surviving in a much more modern era that forces older fleets to remain active surface combatants in the Indo-Pacific region. Let's dive into these two exciting pieces of news one by one, starting with Australia. The Royal Australian Navy just locked in a massive $163 million strategic deal to overhaul the remaining ANZAC-class frigates and ensure they don't end up as scrap metal. This crucial decision was announced at the Henderson shipyard in Western Australia and has been covered by various global military media. It's an interesting move that caught some global attention, seeing Australia choose to maintain its 90s-era fleet instead of just adding new units. Under this contract agreed upon by the BAE Systems Australia and BMT Consortium, 7 of these warships will be heavily modified to survive in a much more modern era. The ANZAC-class platform is actually an incredibly tough warship. Built on the MECO 200 base by Tenix Defense Systems, this 3,600-ton frigate relies on a highly dependable combined propulsion system. It's a lethal combo of one General Electric LM2500 gas turbine punching out 30,000 horsepower, paired with two MTU 12V1163 diesel engines putting out 8,840 horsepower. This setup can push the 118-meter hull up to a top speed of 27 knots, with a non-stop cruising range of up to 11,000 kilometers. But having strong internals doesn't guarantee survival today. That's why Australia is focusing heavily on overhauling the ship's central nervous system, specifically integrating a brand new combat management system. They'll be installing the latest version of the Saab 9LV interface to make sure the coordination between sensors and weapons cuts tactical decision-making down to mere seconds. In the sensor department, the ship's eyes will get a massive upgrade through the CEAFAR Phased Array Radar. This domestically built radar is incredibly precise, able to detect and track low-flying air and surface threats way better than conventional rotating radars. When it comes to firepower, they're maximizing their vertical launch system, or VLS. While keeping the 127mm Mk45 bow gun and Harpoon anti-ship missiles, the air defense will now rely on evolved Sea Sparrow missiles, fully integrated with a newly upgraded electronic warfare system. A tactical data link upgrade is also an absolute must, ensuring seamless communication with allied fleets, especially the United States under the AUKUS Joint Operation Framework. And of course, anti-submarine warfare stays a top priority, continuing to integrate the advanced Sikorsky MH-60R Seahawk helicopter on their flight deck. Australia really had to make this upgrade. The AUKUS nuclear submarine mega project and the new Hunter-class frigate program are still haunted by schedule delays and skyrocketing costs that are hard to predict. So keeping the current units alive and strengthening them is the most rational move Canberra can make right now. Meanwhile, as Australia fights hard to maintain dominance above the water, a much quieter power shift is happening in Southeast Asia. Right at the beginning of April 2026, the Republic of Singapore Navy officially welcomed the RSS Illustrious. This is the third unit of the Invincible-class submarines, technically known as the Type 218SG, docking at Changi Naval Base after a long voyage from the ThyssenKrupp Marine Systems shipyard in Kiel, Germany. This 2,200-ton underwater monster is not to be underestimated by global military analysts. Unlike most countries that just buy standard European coastal submarine designs and tweak them, the Invincible-class was custom-built entirely from scratch to operate in one of the world's most complex maritime environments. The waters around the Malacca Strait and the South China Sea are famously shallow, have warm tropical temperatures, and are filled with the acoustic noise of thousands of massive cargo ships passing through every single day. The RSS Illustrious was built specifically to conquer these exact challenges. But the most terrifying technological leap of the RSS Illustrious is its power plant. It combines hydrogen fuel cell Air-Independent Propulsion, or AIP, with ultra-high-capacity lithium-ion battery modules. The synergy of these two high-tech systems creates mind-blowing energy efficiency. While traditional diesel-electric subs have to surface frequently or use a snorkel to vent exhaust and recharge, which exposes their position, the Invincible-class can dive in total silence for a full 28 to 42 days. This means it can literally vanish from radar and sonar screens for over a month. What's also really interesting about the Type 218SG is the extremely high level of automation. This allows a submarine to be operated by a very small crew, just about 28 people. With fewer tasks requiring manual labor compared to conventional subs, the crew gets longer rest periods, preventing exhaustion during those long, silent missions. When it comes to payload and striking power, the Invincible-class is no joke. It's armed with 8 standard 533mm torpedo tubes, ready to launch both heavyweight torpedoes and long-range anti-ship missiles. Looking at these two developments, we can see Australia making a highly logical move. Extending the life of their frigates ensures they don't lack security coverage in the Pacific. On the other hand, Singapore just got significantly stronger, securing their maritime borders now that their third advanced submarine has finally arrived. So, what do you think about the news above? Let me know.